Alright class, so today's topic is basically about measure of dispersion. Alright, what are the methods of measure of dispersion? Before going to it, let me explain you briefly that what is actually measure of dispersion. Alright, now for example, I have a few values in the data and I am representing the data on a number line. Alright, the smallest value in the data is 2 and the largest value in the data is, for example, it's 20, and all the data is spread in between. So I assume that one value is 2, the other value is like there are two values of 3, then some values for 4, then maybe some for 4.5, then 5, so on. All right. So the data is spread in between all the values from 2 to 20. Now I'm just spreading it haphazardly. All right, now you know what these dots are showing. They are showing, okay, what are the values in the data. Okay, all right. Now for example, when I calculated its central value, so the central value is coming as 8.5. Now this central value, which is known as average, might be calculated by using mean method, maybe by using median, or maybe by mode, because we have done all these three. Now what measure of dispersion, there are few methods in measure of dispersion. Now, whatever method we are using, that actually shows that what we mean by dispersion. Dispersion means the thing which is disperse matlab right and left movement, right? Somewhere around some value. Just we say na sometimes, okay class, just disperse means now go here and there. You can be go in the scattered form, so there is no sequence, right? So the measure is dispersed around what? Around the central value. So basically this measure dispersion tells me how much majority of the data, what I'm saying majority, I'm not saying all, I'm saying majority of the data is around the central value. Now I can very clearly see that the majority of the data is not so close, is dispersed even quite away from the central value, right? Now if I'm going to take another example, and over here again I'm assuming the data is from 2 to 20 and the data is something in this form. Majority of the data is over here. Okay, now again, even in this case, the mean, median, mode, whatever, I'm assuming mean, is 8.5. But see the dispersion of data. Dispersion of data is from here till here. So the accumulation of data is more nearer, more near, right? It's more near to central value as compared to this case where it is spread quite away from central value. So this is the concept of this topic, dispersion, which tells you how much away is majority of the data from the central value. More closer to the central value, that means this average value is a good description. It is telling me right information. Yes, this is the right average value. And what is the reason behind it? Because it is more close to the majority of the data is more close to this central value. And here the central value is not giving you the right picture, right information, right? This is the central value. I have calculated correctly by using any of these methods. There's no error in it. But this is not giving me the right picture. This is not giving me the good picture, the central value, because actually more or less data is not around this central value. Okay, so measure of dispersion has very great importance in explaining how well defined is our central value. So what is the use of measure of dispersion? It explains it explains more the central value of the data. Is the central value good picture of the data or not so good? All right. So this is the brief explanation about measure of dispersion. Okay, now there are few methods which we will learn. Uh, what methods we are going to learn here? First is range, the most easiest to calculate, and obviously um, since it is quite easy, so it is not even a very good picture of the answer, but in most of the cases we do use it because it is quite convenient and easy to use. So range, then we have quartile deviation, then we have mean deviation, then the method is variance, and the method is standard deviation. It looks that there are many methods, but when you will learn variance, so that means you're automatically learning standard deviation. Why? Because whatever is the answer of variance you are getting, if you underroot it, you will get the answer of standard deviation. So the standard deviation, you do not need to learn anything new. Just need to underroot variance and you will get the answer for this. And for the mean deviation, the mean deviation can be mean deviation from mean. Mean deviation can be from median, and same goes for mean deviation from mode. Okay, again the most important is this and this one, and this we hardly use, but once you will understand these two, you can very easily calculate this if you're asked to find out. Okay, so mean deviation from mean and mean deviation from median, so this is our target. And over here one more important thing is that all these methods we are going to study for all three types of data. Remember, I explained you that basically all this information we will cover for type 1 data, for type 2, and for type 3. Type 1, what I call type 1 is a simple data with few values in it. Type 2 is basically ungrouped one, ungrouped data like X value NF, and type 3 is group data. Okay, where there are the intervals involved. So intervals will be here and the frequencies. So all three methods we are going to learn for all three types of data. Coming to the range. First is range. Okay. Range is simply maximum minus minimum, or the highest value minus lowest. So that's why I said it's very easy to calculate. But why we don't consider it so good? Because it's not telling us actually the dispersion around the mean or median or mode. So it's basically telling us overall the flow of data. What is the maximum value? What is the minimum value? Find it, subtract it, and you will have the range. So assume for type 1. Okay, I'm taking few values. Let's say it's 18, 13, 20, 14, 10, 9, 22, 6, 4, let's say 14. Okay, now you can arrange it, and if you don't want to arrange, just pick up the minimum or the maximum value from here. So by looking at the data, I can say that this is my minimum value and 20, 22 is the maximum here. So the range will be equal to 22 minus 6, which is equal to 16 is the answer. Okay, so range for this is 16, means there are 16 values. They are not total values are here. What 1 2 3 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 values are total. But 16 is showing that the range of the values are 16 in this data. Coming to type 2. Type 2 is about the frequency table. So we know that whenever the frequency table is given, for example, it is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and few frequencies are given for that. Let's say 2, 6, 7, 8, and then 3, whatever. Since this table is always given in the ordered form, it's never like if first I will put the 14 one and then 13 and then 17, then 15, then 16. No, it's always in the order. So it's now more again quite easy. You pick up the least value, this is the minimum value, and this is the maximum value. So in this case, range is 17 minus 13. So this is 5 is the answer. Okay, and same scenario is for type 3 when the other group data is there. So if I'm making group limits or boundaries, whatever, let's say I'm taking limits is 10 to 20, 20. Okay, I'm taking boundaries 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and some frequencies are here. Now let's say there's 4. There are 4 values in this range. Now I don't know what are those 4 values. Maybe uh, the starting one is like uh, 16 and 18, 18 and 19. These values are in this data. So what is the minimum here? 16 now. But this is the main drawback of this group data, that we cannot find back value. Okay, which value is basically uh, here. So again, assuming that what could be the minimum value, I don't know. Okay, it is actually 16, for example. Okay, so minimum it can go till 10. Am I right? So minimum it can go till 10. So then that means I will again, to make the thing easy, I will say this is the least value, and what is the maximum possible value. Possible, we don't know is it actually maximum or not, but this is a maximum possible value. So again, range over here is going to be 50 minus 10, which is 40. All right, so the range is clear to you. Okay, what is how to find out range? We, it's simply maximum minus minimum, and it is done for all 3 type of data. All right, so in this video I have explained you what actually the concept behind measure of dispersion, right? And what are the types of measure of dispersion, and then how to find out range. Okay, 17 minus 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yes, absolutely right. This is 4. Okay, calculation mistake. And how to find out the range, I am doing the first method. How to find out the range of simple data, ungroup data, and group data. All right, so next is